Hi, welcome back to My Mom Life. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jordan, and today I'm showing you how to make homemade Pop-Tarts. Let's get started. I am using some pre-made pie crust dough. This is a Great Value brand. It's okay. It kind of tears a little bit if you don't let it come to room temperature before you work with it, so you'll see that here in a second. I recommend letting it kind of come to room temperature before you start working with it if you're using the Great Value brand. And really the other brand too, it would be easier to work with, Pillsbury or whatever you got. So I'm gonna put some flour down on a parchment lined surface, and I am going to open up my pie crust. As you can see, it was having a little bit of trouble, but in a little bit you'll see it was a lot easier. Now I'm just going to cut this into a rectangle and put the scraps to the side because I am going to reuse those. So you will see me do this with all of the pie crust. I am using 2 boxes today because I am making 4 different kinds of Pop-Tarts to show you. So you can make however many you want. This isn't an exact recipe. You kind of just make it how you want, and yeah, I love that. So I'm going to cut these into rectangles and then cut that in half and then into thirds. Once you have all of your pie crust cut and into your rectangles, you're going to take those scraps that you have left over and put them together and roll them out on the same floured surface and cut out some more. Now, I don't like to do this more than twice because I feel like that will overwork the dough and they'll become tough. I wouldn't recommend, working it too much, but I definitely didn't want to waste those scraps. So I'm going to do the same thing with these, and the key here is to get the right thickness. You want to make sure that they're pretty thin, otherwise your Pop-Tarts, I've made these before, and I didn't roll it out thin enough and they were really thick. So make sure you get it pretty thin. Now that we have all of our rectangles cut out, we're ready to start filling them. So the first one I'm doing is strawberry, and this is just some strawberry fruit spread. You can use blueberry, raspberry, cherry, whatever you want, whatever kind of Pop-Tarts your kids like or you like. And I am just going to put this in the middle and spread it out. Make sure to leave a good edge though, because it will seep out of your Pop-Tart while they are baking in the oven and make a big mess. Trust me. So you're gonna put about a tablespoon of filling on the dough, and then we will seal it up. Once I get them filled, I like to take the top piece and put it on and then press my fingers around the entire thing just to give it a quick seal before we use a fork to seal it for good. Now you're just going to take a fork and press it all the way around your Pop-Tart just to give it a good seal. You don't want your filling seeping out. And then you're going to put 3 little vent holes just to make sure that it doesn't explode on you in the oven. It'll pop open. You'll see some of mine actually did. So you'll see that in a little bit. So make sure that you give it a good seal all the way around and then vent the top of it. Now moving on to the brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. I have some brown sugar, flour, and cinnamon, and I'm just gonna give that a good mix. I will have measurements for you down in the description box, so check that out if you wanna make these Pop-Tarts. Once you have it mixed up, you are just gonna do the same thing. Put the filling in the middle of the Pop-Tart and spread it out a little bit. And then we will seal them just like the other ones and move on to the next flavor. Now I am making s'mores Pop-Tarts, so you're going to need some marshmallow fluff and some chocolate. You could use Hershey's chocolate bars, that would make it taste more like s'mores, but I mean, my family loved these, so I don't think you can go wrong. And you're just going to spread some marshmallow fluff on your pie crust and then top it with some chocolate. Last but not least, I am showing you some Nutella Pop-Tarts. So same idea here, put the filling in the middle and spread it out, seal them, and then these ones are good to go. This one is super easy. You're just gonna take it right out of the jar and spread it on. So once you have all of your Pop-Tarts made, or if you're just making one flavor, however you're doing it, you're going to put them on a lined or a greased baking sheet. And I have my oven set to 375, and we are going to top them with an egg wash. So I will show you that here in just a second. For the egg wash, you're just going to whisk up an egg really well, and then you will take a brush, a pastry brush, and brush the top of them with the egg wash, and that is it. You can add a little bit of water to your egg to thin it out, but I don't find it necessary. So I'm just going to brush the top of each of our Pop-Tarts with the egg wash and then pop them in the oven for about 20 minutes. Now we're gonna move on to the frosting for the Pop-Tarts. I'm starting with the s'mores frosting. So you're gonna melt some chocolate chips, and I just do this in the microwave in like 20-second intervals. I added some heavy whipping cream to it and stirred it up, and you're gonna add your whipping cream until you get to the consistency that you want. So that is key. Just keep adding a little at a time until you get to the right consistency. And then you're also going to want some graham crackers because these are s'mores Pop-Tarts. You definitely need those graham crackers. So I'm gonna crush them up just a little bit. I like to have some big chunks too to put on top. I think it looks cute. So as you can see, some of my s'mores Pop-Tarts kind of exploded a little bit in the oven. That's okay because the frosting's gonna cover that up. But that's why you definitely wanna have those vent holes on the Pop-Tarts. So one tip that I could give you is to do the vent holes after you do the egg wash, because the egg wash can sometimes seal up those holes that you made. But for the purpose of this video, I just did it in the order that I did, but however you want to do it is fine. As you can see, the frosting is going to cover up that imperfection anyways, and it's still going to taste great. Here are our finished s'mores Pop-Tarts. They look so cute and my kids loved these. Now we're gonna move on to the frosting for our Nutella Pop-Tarts. In this bowl, I just have some powdered sugar, and I'm gonna take my cream and thin it out and get it to the consistency that I want, just like with the chocolate frosting. With this, we are also gonna use our leftover chocolate frosting, and you'll see that I thin that out even more because I wanted to drizzle it on, and it gets thick as it sits out. So you'll see that here in just a second. Now I am going to ice these Nutella Pop-Tarts with the white icing. You could add in some vanilla extract if you wanted, but I wanted to keep that white color. And then I am going to drizzle the chocolate frosting on top. I went ahead and put it into a little Ziploc bag so that it was easier, and I just squeezed it on top. However you want to do it. The beauty of these is that you can make them your own, and your kids are going to love them no matter what. And I think that the more rustic and homemade they look, the cuter they look. So after I got them iced, I sprinkled on some chocolate sprinkles. I would have used some rainbow sprinkles if I had them, but I didn't. So I just went with chocolate sprinkles. Here are the finished Nutella Pop-Tarts. Now let's move on to the strawberry ones. I am just using the same white frosting as I did the last. So I'm gonna spread that on top, and then I will top them with some red sprinkles. Here are the finished strawberry Pop-Tarts. Now we will finish up with our brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. For this icing, I just used some powdered sugar and some cinnamon, and then of course the heavy whipping cream to thin it out. And I got this one a little thin, so it was a little messy looking, but I mean, they still tasted great. Here are the finished brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts, and that completes all of the Pop-Tarts that I am showing you how to make today. Which ones do you think would be your favorite? I know that my kids really love the strawberry ones, but they loved all of them. So let me know what you think. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And if you are new here, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
So lucky to be yours, and you're taking me